Hey, this is Kristen Alderson, and you're listening to the WSE Lounge.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another great edition of the WSE Lounge. I am your host, as always, Brian Vaughn, and I want to welcome to the show Marc Samuel. He's known as Felix on General Hospital. Marc, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Brian. How's it going, man?
Going good. How are you doing?
Oh, cannot complain. I'm living out here on a nice day in Southern California. It's what else could you ask for?
That's great. Is it hot out there?
It's nice, it's pleasant. I'd say it's about 80 degrees right now.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, it's been running about 90 down here, so that's a lot better.
Wow, and humid too, I bet.
Yeah, really. When did you first know that you wanted to be an actor?
Oh man, when I was a little kid, when I was 5 years old, oftentimes I would put on talent shows for my grandmother and my father, my mom, in our living room back in Chicago, and I would command or demand that everybody pay attention to what me and my brother were doing and stuff, and that kind of came along with me all the way up through my life, just wanting to entertain and play other people and use my imagination to pretend, kind of like every other kid, but I wanted to keep doing it all the way up through adulthood.
Wow. So in other words, you never, I guess you never would have imagined that that imagination would pay off one day and you would be where you are now.
Well, I'm sure glad it did. I'm glad that there's a job that kind of helps you do it. But yeah, I knew that whatever I was going to do with my life, I had to be able to use my imagination. And I'm glad there's a career where you can do it.
What was it like for you being on Criminal Minds?
Oh, it's great. I mean, the cast was great. At the time that I was on it, Mandy Patinkin was on it, and he's an amazing actor and a really incredibly funny guy. Great sense of humor. Shamar Moore, really cool guy. He remembered me in passing from years before when we'd met, and immediately remembered who I was. They were just great to work with. There was this one moment on set that was particularly funny when I was being wheeled out in a stretcher because my character had been shot, not killed, but shot, and so I was in the stretcher being rolled out. Well, in between takes, we had two actors playing the paramedics holding on to the gurney, and the gurney slipped and fell to the ground. Well, I was strapped in, and it's a really thick mattress. I was completely protected. And I remember just collapsing, and I was just laying there, and I opened my eyes, and the first person's face I saw as he kind of looked over me was Mandy Patinkin. He made some joke, and I was like, this guy's a riot. He's really great, and a professional, really cool guy. So wonderful experience. A really great team of people from casting all the way to crew, actors, everybody was great.
Wow, that sounds like quite a moment.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really fun.
You were actually the voice of the Lizard in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, the video game. How would you say that differs from being on screen?
I'm sorry, differs from being where?
Okay, how would you say that differs from being on screen? I mean, being seen on screen and then behind the screen.
Well, I mean, the one major difference between voiceover acting and on-camera acting is that you're not seen. So everything that you have to do has to come through in your voice. You do all the same stuff as an actor. You do research. You imagine the background of this character. You imagine what they've gone through. You read up on them. If you don't have information, you create information. But you'd have to make everything come through in your voice, whether it's physical weight, age, everything. With on-camera acting, you are what the audience sees. And so for that, you have to depend on everything that's related to visuals. Voiceover acting, as long as your voice sounds right, you can come in your pajamas if you want and do the job.
Well, I guess as long as the cartoon that's drawn doesn't get too out of whack, then I guess you're pretty good on the voice part.
Right, exactly.
How did you become a part of General Hospital?
Well, that's kind of a funny story. I was, as I am now, I was acting and doing different things on different shows, guest stars, and doing commercials and all sorts of other things. And I was getting ready for a vacation to Barcelona. And right before I had left got ready to leave for Barcelona, I'd gotten a call from my manager. And she told me that they had gotten me in to read for General Hospital. And I hadn't read for General Hospital in years, except for that was the very first thing I'd ever read for when I came to Los Angeles. And I read for Marc, who's the casting director there. And but I hadn't heard from them in years, so I was like, okay, well, all right. I didn't really think about doing soap operas. I didn't know much about them. I'd watched a couple growing up and stuff, but I wasn't particularly dedicated to one show over another. It was just sometimes the way I would pass time. So I heard about General Hospital, and I knew they had a huge legacy of not only these major stories, I guess back in the 80s with the Luke and Laura storyline, they also had a long legacy of giving back to the community and stuff. And I thought, this sounds interesting. I'll go in. And I read, but I knew I was going on vacation, so I wasn't thinking anything of it. But I read in the first audition, and Marc, our casting director, told me to hold on to the material that would have a producer session. I thought, this is great. It was the first time I'll ever have a producer session for General Hospital or any soap opera. And so I came back, met a lot more of the production staff, and met Frank Valentini that day. And I read for him, and I thought, okay, well, that's probably going to be it. Won't take much more of it. I've got to get ready for this vacation. And then I got a call a few days later saying they wanted to do a screen test. And so I came in to do a screen test. Now, if you don't know what a screen test is, it's when the actors work in the actual environment that they would work on the show, but it's not really broadcast. It's a pretend broadcast to see if the actor can handle essentially walking and chewing gum at the same time, under all the same duress that the show would have.
Uh-huh.
So it was the first time that I met Teresa Castillo, who plays Sabrina Santiago. And I remember meeting her, and she was wonderful. She was so supportive. She was, very helpful. She kind of walked me through what we were going to do, and we rehearsed the scene a couple times, and I got along with her immediately. And then we went in and read, and it was funny because I thought, well, I'm going to Barcelona, so I'll just read, and this will be it. I won't hear anything else about it, and I'm getting ready to go on this really cool vacation. But the minute I finished reading with Teresa, I just knew. I knew that I was going to book the job. We had such chemistry, such a connection, just doing that short scene, and I thought, I better get a refund on this ticket. But they called me like a day before I was going to fly out, saying that I'd booked the show and that they needed me to come in the following week to do fittings and to meet everybody and to sign paperwork. And so I had to cancel my trip, but it was for the best reason ever.
Well, you just answered one of my questions. I was going to ask you, what's it like to work with Teresa, who plays Sabrina? And I guess it's a blast because y'all met on screen and have had chemistry ever since. And so you basically answered that question for me. Fans, if you got any questions for Marc, please put them in the comment section below, and I'll direct them over to Marc if you have any questions. Whenever you had whenever you had to tell, you didn't really want to, but you ran into Patrick and you told Patrick that Sabrina was pregnant. How did it feel as you being in character, knowing that Sabrina was kind of upset with Felix?
Okay, so well, as the actor, what we feel when we go in. We have to kind of practice and prep those moments in our imagination, as well as with dialogue and stuff. So when you do enough homework, it kind of creates the imitation of the real feeling. So there's the guilt, there's the worry, the stress. So as the actor, I was glad that everything was kind of functioning on all cylinders. Obviously, as the character, Felix, the character, would feel awful, but for good reason. He had to do what he had to do. And Felix's dedication, he sometimes makes small mistakes for a bigger purpose. Put it that way. And at first when he was on the show, it was mostly he was a little nosy, but as things went along, he became very dedicated to his friends and the integrity of his relationship. So sometimes he had to do the thing that would make Teresa mad at him, or Patrick mad at him, or other characters, in order to get the right thing done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You seem to be in character now. You seem to be a friend on General Hospital that seems to have compassion and encouragement for the other characters on there. And one in particular I'm talking about is Laura Wright, who plays Carly. Do you ever see yourself one day maybe going in competition with Billy Miller as Jason to kind of be Carly's new BFF?
Oh, no, I definitely don't. I think within the context of the show, the relationship that Jason and Carly have is so much longer and so much more profound than the relationship that Felix has with Carly. Although Felix and Carly have a great relationship, I'd say it's a lot more. There's support and there's fun, and care, but there's something about the relationship between Jason and Carly that's just completely different. So, and we all have different friends. We don't ask if they compete against each other. They all serve purposes in our life in real life. So we have multiple friends. Some of them are close friends. Some are close acquaintances. Some are best friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and I agree with you 100% on that. And I have a question from a fan. She says that you're her favorite actor, and she wants to know, do you have a Facebook page?
I do have a Facebook page. If you go on Facebook and look for Marc Anthony Samuel, and I spell it M-A-R-C, I do have a Facebook Facebook page. Yeah, so you can follow me.
Okay, and I also have a comment from another fan that says, I just want to say that General Hospital needs to give you, Felix, a long storyline. Love your character.
Tell that person thank you very much, whoever that question or that statement's from. I appreciate it, and I've said it a bunch of times. I would love to do more on the show, but ultimately, the way the show goes, everything from the storyline, from who you see on the screen, that's up to the producers of the show. So I think they in turn have to kind of see what the fans want. And the only way that they know that stuff is by the fans writing in to them and saying, hey, this is what we'd like to see, and being consistent about it. Because I know that, and I've said this also, any actor, any star athlete, none of them can have a career without the support of the fans, and that includes General Hospital. So if there's things you want to see, I would strongly encourage you just to let them know. Just tell them what you're feeling, and hopefully they can get Felix on the show a lot more.
I think that'd be great, because I miss seeing you on there too. I mean, you're a phenomenal actor.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Whatever happened to your on-screen sister, Tyler?
Your guess is as good as mine, but I think the very last reference we had to Taylor was that she had gone back to North Carolina after Christmas and just never came back. And again, the only person who can really answer the behind the scenes on that would be Frank Valentini or the other producers at General Hospital. That's all I can say. I mean, your guess is as good as mine as far as what happened to her. But we missed her. We missed both versions of her. She was a great addition to the show, and both people who played Taylor, Sam and Peppy, but they're both great actresses, really phenomenal people, and I know they're both doing well in their other endeavors. And I definitely would say, if you're curious about it, ask the producers at GH, and they can fill you in.
Okay. Any idea when we'll see Felix's lover, Donnie Sheldon, back on screen again?
Well, as you may or may not know, he did make a quick appearance during the Nurses Ball.
I believe I do remember seeing that.
Yeah, briefly. I have no idea when and if Donnie Sheldon will make another appearance on the show, but I'm sorry I have to keep saying this, but the way to find that stuff out is to ask Frank.
Frank.
Can give you all the info on that. Yeah.
Okay, and here's.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, I didn't want to cut you off. I just wanted to let you know. Speaking of that, here's another question that I may have to go to Frank on. Do you by any chance know? Because I'm just curious. Whatever happened to Rosalie, Brad's wife?
Oh, Rosalie. Oh, man. I don't know. I didn't know that she wasn't still on the show. I presumed that she was still working in the hospital. And here's the thing. I mean, there's so many of us on the show, and we're not always working on the same days. And so things can happen, and we can be completely, unaware of it. But actually, now that you say it and I think of it, I haven't seen her in a long time as well. So it sounds like Frank has a lot of questions that helping us out with.
And it's kind of funny you say that, because when we had Sonya Eddy on, she was saying
Sonya. That's my friend.
Yeah, she's awesome. She was saying the same thing, that she goes into work different days, and some of the cast go in different days, and so sometimes they never run into each other. Sometimes y'all never run into each other or see each other.
It's true, and I will say on their behalf, I know that they probably have a really big job to do. They have a lot of actors that work on the show, and they probably have to figure out where they can fit this person in or that person in and with a storyline, and is it part of what they're trying the audience they're trying to reach, and and they're writing so many shows per day and per week. I think I have to tip my hat to them. Their job is difficult. They, in addition to trying to be equitable and balanced and respect the fans, which I think is job number one. They also have to come up with different storylines that are going to keep people engaged and interested, and try not to do the same stuff over and over and over again. And sometimes they have all shows have varying success with it. A soap opera is different than episodic television at night, in that they write twice as much, 3 times as much sometimes, than a primetime show. And so all the challenges just become that much more difficult. So, I tip my hat to them. I wish them luck and hope that they can, in the future, continue to satisfy as much as possible for, our fans, who are, our number one reason for doing any of this.
That's true, and I agree. I agree with you 100% on that. And does it bother you in character as Felix seeing Brad and Lucas married?
No. Brad, Lucas, and Felix are all good with each other now. They're especially Brad and Felix. They're pretty tight, and Lucas and Felix are also friends too. He's happy for them. And I think a lot of fans were confused because the plot was moving one way about their relationship and
Yeah.
how things were going, and suddenly it was completely different. Didn't hear anything from any of them, and all of a sudden things were kind of A-okay. And I think that's one of the writing kind of scripts they have to do when there's so much to keep track of. Sometimes you have to move the plot along without anybody seeing it actually move along. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
There's been several moments on the show where you know that everybody's okay with each other. It's not this. There's no animosity. There's just happiness for everyone else. And I think in the last Nurses Ball, that was kind of made pretty clear actually when Brad asked Felix to be, his best man, and he did stand up for him, and he was there for him, and he offered him great advice about love and stuff, and obviously it's been written that the relationship between Felix and Donnie is going really well, so, I think they've moved it along in a way just to let people know that everything is fine.
That's great. Speaking of the Nurses Ball, that actually brings me to my next question. What's it like preparing for the Nurses Ball, Mark?
Oh man, it's definitely like it's a boot camp within a boot camp. Actors, we in Hollywood kind of refer to soap operas as actor boot camp because there's so much to learn at a high rate, and right off out of the gate. If you've never done daytime television before, there's nothing. There are very few things as challenging as daytime television. Aside from, obviously there are major acting roles which require a lot of research and a lot of vulnerability, and being able to do that in a very busy, noisy sometimes environment. But aside from those things, just the challenge of being able to get lots of dialogue out and word perfect, even if there's been changes made, and being able to come in every day and have these long monologues, and being able to also get behind everything as well, because it's not just saying lines, it's being present, having all the things moving inside of you to make you say certain things or feel certain ways. So we have the Nurses Ball. We're doing all of our regular stuff as soap actors, as well as now taking on choreography, songs, musical numbers, and shooting all together in one room where we have to pay attention because the scenes jump from one to the other, and we have to be aware of when our cue is. We have to be in the moment, even when we're not on screen, because the camera could switch right to us all of a sudden. So yeah, it's a big boot camp. It's worth it. It's so much fun. We get to hang out with all the actors we don't usually get to see when we're working, because everybody kind of does it at the same time. It's fun to watch everybody do something different than their usual thing on the show. Like, to be able to see Robert, or see him sing, or see like some of the guys in the Milo act dance.
Yeah, I know the ladies love that magic Milo. I know they love that. The ladies do out there.
Well, we appreciate them for loving it, and it's been a lot of fun to do over the past 4 years now. I've done it.
Man, that's incredible.
Four nurses balls at least, anyway. So.
Wow. Is there any General Hospital character that's been killed off that you as a person would love to see come back?
Let's see. I love when Jeffrey Paris, my buddy, when he's playing Carlos. I love Carlos. I think Carlos is not only he's a bad guy on the show, but he's not just a bad guy. And the way Jeffrey brought him to life, you can actually feel for him and get behind why he does some of the things he does. And that's a sign of taking the writing and really justifying and making it even better.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see him come back. Definitely. That's one right off the top of my mind. Let me see. Who else would I love to see come back that has died in the past? There's been so many people that have died. I can't even begin. But within my 4 years, I've with Carlos.
Okay, well, you mentioned Carlos, and another guy that I have to mention because he reminds me also of somebody that you hate, but you love to hate, and at the same time you love him, and that is Jerry Jacks.
Oh yeah. You talking about Ingo?
No, Sebastian.
Oh, Sebastian.
Yes,
oh, man.
yes, Jackson's brother.
Sebastian.
Yes.
Man, he is the man. He is such a good actor. Actually, I'm gonna make him one of my choices too. He's a great guy. I've had a couple times of meeting and talking with him and stuff, and I've watched his work on other shows. He's just so incredibly good, and General Hospital is really lucky to have him on the show. He's just really such an amazing actor, and a really good bad guy. He knows bad guy like the back of his hand. It's really great to watch him work. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and join you in that and say he's another one that I'd love to see come back.
Yeah, I think he's one of a kind because I can honestly say I remember when the Metro Court thing happened and he barged in there with a gunman and he took everybody hostage, and I know this is back before before you got on the show, but I remember when it happened, and he told Sonny Corinthos, he said Michael Corinthos Jr. He said I'm going to do this and that, and I mean from that time he debuted on the show, I mean I loved him as an actor. I mean it didn't matter how bad or mischievous he got or what he did. I mean he was awesome. Just like Carlos. He's awesome too. At doing that.
Yeah, I mean, there's something really I think people don't want to admit it, but when they see the bad guys on the screen, their first instinct is like, I hate him. But if you really play a bad guy well, you just love what they're doing. It's seductive. If you play it right, if you're really into it, you can make people understand why you're doing what you're doing.
That's right.
That kind of bad guy,
That's right.
If this is written bad and you can't understand where they're coming from, that's not a well-written character, and it's not well acted. But if you can go, no, I totally get why he has to do what he's doing, or no, I see his point, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then you're onto something special.
What is a funny backstage moment that you could tell the fans?
A funny backstage moment. Now you know what? I can't tell. We just had one.
Okay.
But I will say. I will say this. Anytime that I'm on screen with Chad, there's a strong chance that before we actually, settle down and we're prepared to go, we were probably joking about something that almost made us, laugh while we were working.
Yeah.
There's a strong chance. And I don't even have to pick one scene. Really, anytime I work with Chad, chances are he and I are joking around before we start shooting. And, depending on the gravity of the scene, if it's something that's really serious, we tend to concentrate on our work. But if it's a regular scene and Chad and I are in the same room, I can't even look at him. I can't look at him. He can't look at me because we'll start laughing and then we'll get in trouble with Frank. And
oh, wow.
There's no sense in that.
Wow.
There's no sense in that. Yeah.
I know you said you had about 30 minutes. I've got about 5 more questions. Is it okay if I ask you those real quick? You got time for them?
Sure. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I can take those 5 questions.
Okay. This is actually a 2-part question, this first one. What was the most difficult scene you have ever had on General Hospital, and what was the most exciting episode?
You know what? It was the most difficult and the most exciting just happened to be the same episode. When I first came on screen. When I first did one of the first lines I'd ever spoken on daytime television ever happened, and it was in the locker room scene with Teresa and with Becky, who plays Elizabeth. It was the most difficult because I'd never done anything that was so demanding before, and it was the most exciting because it was the first time I was starting my GH career. So,
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
December 4th, 2012 or 13, 12?
I believe it was 2012 when you came on.
Yeah, 2012. Wow, time flies, man.
It really does. Really does. How much rehearsing goes into a scene?
It depends on what kind of scene it is. If there's a lot of movement, if it's remote, if it's like a dance number, like on the nurse's ball, or like anything on the nurse's ball, really, it's going to be a little bit more rehearsal than say if it's just a stationary scene where two people are talking. You know, with those scenes, we have to be ready when we get to work, and know our lines and be prepared, and we just go. You know, they have a small tech rehearsal just to make sure the camera follows us properly, and that the lighting is correct, and you know everything is firing on all cylinders there. But end of day, you know, it just depends on what kind of scene we're doing.
Okay.
A fight scene takes a lot more time too, because you want to choreograph something that looks realistic, but it's still keeping us safe. Because you can act, if you don't properly choreograph fight scenes, somebody's going to get the juice knocked out.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Did things ever come out out in the open about Brad's parents? Because I knew they were mixed up in something, but I didn't ever hear anything about that.
Not to my knowledge. I think it was just something alluded to, and I know that there might be some behind-the-scenes stuff that they were talking about that kind of would develop that further. But again, that's one of those things at the executive production level that they would be in charge of, and that would just be determined by the demand for it.
Okay, I'll have to go to Frank, like you said, with those questions, so he can answer them.
He's the man. He's the captain of the ship. So wherever the ship goes, he's sailing it there.
Can you tell us about your upcoming movies, Rumor from Ground Control and The Crooked Somebody?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Rumor from Ground Control is a story in which I play an astronaut. I'm sorry, forgive me, I misspoke.
Okay.
I play the son of an astronaut.
Son of an astronaut, okay.
Who has died under mysterious circumstances. And so I employ the help of a journalist, a very hungry journalist at a small newspaper. And as we get closer to the answers, more danger happens. It's kind of a suspense thriller, and there's a lot of twists and turns, unexpected twists and turns.
Sounds very exciting.
And in A Crooked Somebody, that is a film in which I play a detective. That story is it's kind of a comedy drama, but it's mostly dramatic and mystery, about this young man who's a little misguided in his ways to earn a living. He and a partner have been conning people into believing that he has second sight or can speak with the dead. And it's about the trouble that unravels as a result of that ruse. And it stars Ed Harris, Amy Madigan, me, some other people, Joanne Forgot from Downton Abbey.
Wow.
It's gonna be pretty fantastic. I think both of these films are gonna be coming out in the film festivals first, I believe, unless they get distributors immediately. But even if they do, they could still go through film festivals, and then from there, we'll see where they go. But really great cast in both of those films. I'm looking forward to you guys being able to see it.
That sounds very exciting. And you know, when you was talking about A Crooked Somebody and you playing a detective, and the person actually seeing dead people, kind of made me think of Jennifer Love Hewitt on the Ghost Whisperer.
Oh yeah, that's more supernatural. This one is more of a thriller. That's all I'll say.
Okay. And my last question for you, do you have any upcoming appearances that you would like to promote?
I actually do. I have one that I can't really talk about yet, but it's prime time television. And I will, if you follow me on Twitter or on Instagram, you'll see little hints of it, and then eventually I'll probably make an official announcement through commercials, which have been airing, and I have another one coming out pretty soon for another company that I don't want to say anything until it actually comes out. So I'm working. I'm out there doing some other things. Matter of fact, it's been quite a busy fall, and it's nice to accent it with being able to join my GH family. But yeah, like a lot of us on the show, we're doing the show, and then some of the part-time guys and recurring people, we tend to do a lot of other things. Okay, well,
thank you I want to thank you so much, Mark, for being on the show today. It was an honor to have you, honored to have you on for an interview, and I wish you the best of luck in all you do, and I'll keep watching you on General Hospital.
All right, thank you so much for having me on. You guys take care, and thanks for your support. And if fans, if whoever's listening out there, just follow me on my social media, and I'll keep you appraised as to what's going on.
Okay, and thank you so much, sir.
All right, take care.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mark Samuel, known as Felix from General Hospital. I hope that you enjoyed today's show, and I'll be sure and let you know whenever some more shows are coming up on the WSE Lounge. Please stay tuned to the WSE Lounge Facebook page, and I'll let you know when any more soap stars, pro wrestlers, singers, celebrities are coming on. And as always, I'm going to let Mike Mooneyham close us out. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another great edition of the WSE Lounge. I am your host, as always, Brian Vaughn. And at this time, I want to welcome my guest on the show. You have seen him as an appearance on General Hospital during the 2016 Nurses Ball with Kiki and Dylan. And also, he's a part of the band Jack and the Wild. Please welcome Jack London.
What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, Jack. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just chilling in California, trying not to melt in the heat.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're making a speedy recovery and everything. I'm glad to hear you're doing better.
Yeah, dude, I'm doing so much better. Thank you so much for your well wishes. That's really cool of you. Thank you very much. I was in a car accident for those of you guys who are listening. Chilling, obviously.
You're very welcome, and I want to start off by asking you, what was it that got you into singing and acting?
Well, I always wanted to play the drums. That was the first instrument that I learned. But when I wanted to play the drums, I was not in a financial position to be able to purchase a drum kit because they were too, very expensive. Hold on, I hope you still plan to do the song. Oh, absolutely, Bella. Jay, I'm not sure what to call you. But then I got my first drum kit around the age of 11 years old, I fell in love with it. Also, I got the guitar though, is what I really changed because I kind of got bored with the drums. You know, for me personally, it's like, I don't know, the drums are the backbone, you need the drums, but the guitar, you can sing with the guitar. You really have a voice. You can say things that you can't say with a drum set, for me personally.
Okay, well, yeah, that's a very interesting story, and you know, you got a point there. You can sing a lot better with the guitar instead of the drums. And speaking of singing, I know your fans want to hear you, so I'm going to ask if you can to go ahead and sing one of your songs for the audience.
Yeah, I know how to figure out one real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, give me 12 seconds to sing something. This one's called Lightning. You hear that, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that hearable?
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right, man, here we go.
Okay.
You are so hypnotizing, you're crazy, exciting. I don't want anybody else but me. I don't want anybody else but me. I don't want anybody else. You wanna go downtown? Let me show you around. I know what you want. I know you're so sexy, take me home, you can undress me, yeah. You hit me, I'm liking, you are so hypnotizing, you're crazy, exciting, I don't want anybody else but me, I don't want anybody else but me, I don't want anybody else. That's it. This is an electric guitar song. It's difficult.
That was good. That was real good. I enjoyed that.
Thanks, man.
You're very welcome. Let's.
I'm also just sort of really young. I'm getting out of the hospital from a couple days ago from a car accident, so I'm in a little pain right now. So sorry.
Well, that's very understandable. Let's talk a little bit about. Let's just talk a little bit about what we can of. I know you got a TV show possibly in the works. You know, I know it's called American Lace Band. Can you?
That's not a TV show. That's actually a band. I have a
Okay.
TV show that I'm writing, and I'm
Oh, okay.
starring in called My Family Circus.
Okay, and that's the one coming to Awesomeness TV on Nickelodeon.
No. That's the one with the band.
Oh, okay, that's the one.
Actually, for everyone listening, it's American Lace is the band.
Okay.
You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and everything. It's a brand new band. We are actually in the works with Nickelodeon right now, but I can't really say any more than that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the American Lace band. So we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We haven't posted much yet, but just starting out, but we already got pretty lucky. Nickelodeon doesn't really want us to talk about it yet.
Okay, I respect that. So let's do talk about the upcoming show though that you're going to be writing and starring in called My Family Circus.
Yes. Okay, so well that one. What do you want to know? Do you have any questions specifically, or do you want me to talk about it?
Well, I would like to know what is it about? What is the plot line? What's it about?
It's about a dysfunctional family. Basically, I wrote it to try and teach the world that their actions make the children around them and the other people or whatever, be like that too. So if you're an alcoholic or you're a drug addict as a parent or as a mother or whatever, and you think that that's your personal problem, it's not. You're giving that
music. It's like, I'm trying to get a little bit of all of the elements. If I could compare it to anything, it would be like Modern Family meets Skins. If that makes any sense at all.
Okay, yeah, and so in other words, just basically trying to open up a dark hole into a bright light and show the audience that's watching exactly what what kind of influence the parents are having on the kids.
And it's also there to make people laugh, make people smile. See, when I was growing up, like, the only thing that made me, like, really happy was music. It's the only thing that made me feel like I wasn't alone. So, if I can just write this show and make 2 or 3 kids watch it, and they feel anything better or anything whatever, yes, I just read it, that's all I want. If I can get 2 kids to smile and feel better when they're at home in their room at night by themselves, feeling alone, and they smile because they watched that show, and it makes them feel a little bit less alone, and that's why I'm doing it, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, well, I say go for it 100%, and it seems like it's got a very good value behind it, and very good message.
Cool, man. I'm not, the richest man in the world. I'm just a kid trying to make it in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool. The people that I have as my cat is actually, the guy who plays my father. His name is Victor Stagliano, and he was one of the leads on Sons of Anarchy. And I have Reed Miller, who's just he's playing my little brother. It's actually, the whole story is about him. Every episode, he's the younger brother. I'm the brother that's sort of the older one that's already kind of lost, if you will. Like, I'm already using drugs and alcohol, and I'm doing bad things and whatever. And the young kid is played by Reed Miller, who's on Criminal Minds and whatever. It's sort of a metaphor for him. Because every episode, he does something worse. He gets worse and worse every single episode. Like, the first episode, he lights up a joint for the first time. The second episode, he has his first alcohol sip. The third episode, he's gonna blah, 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 And my point for the entire thing, too, is not to just do a TV series. I'm trying to turn it into an indie film. So I'm gonna be releasing this in increments of 7-minute to 9-minute episodes. And then once they're all done, once I've got about, I assume, 17 episodes, then I'm going to be trying to submit it to Sundance and trying to get it into, festivals like that.
Well, I'll tell you, I look forward to seeing that, and I'm sure that the fans out there do too. Speaking of fans, I got a question for you from a fan named Harold. He said, "Who is an upcoming singer that we should be on the lookout for?"
I like an upcoming singer that I like.
Yes, an upcoming singer that you like that we should be on the lookout for.
My buddy
Mason Ray.
Mason Ray. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him on Twitter. Just at Mason Ray.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for the.
He's just a beautiful soul. He plays up in he's a street performer. He plays every day. That's how he makes his living, going on the street. And this kid is one of the most beautiful singers and songwriters I've ever come into contact with.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna have to definitely check him out and listen to his music. And speaking of that, weren't you in some of the music videos that Robert Palmer Watkins did, or am I wrong on that?
I was on General Hospital with Robert. I was not in any of the music videos.
Okay, so you wasn't in any of the music video. Yeah, I remember you on the Nurses Ball. I want to ask you, how was it for you? Okay. Go ahead.
I don't know how it happened, to be honest. I'm just praying that it never stops. I'm very lucky that I'm able to write and create. And I don't know how or why it happens. It happens. So I just pray to whoever that it never goes away. Anyway, go ahead, Ryan.
Okay. I was just gonna say, I know you were on the Nurses Ball during the 2016 Nurses Ball with Kiki and Dylan when they did their performance. How was it for you as an overall experience getting to hang with the cast and meet the cast at General Hospital?
I think it was funny because the first thing that happened was when I got on the set, Palmer walked up to me and goes, "Hey dude, don't I know you from somewhere?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I think we never actually figured it out, but we've known each other. We worked on some other show together, or we have mutual friends that are also in the music scene.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. Everyone was so caring and so nice to me. It was unbelievable. But I mean, Robert was definitely the most. I made the biggest connection with him. He's an awesome guy. Awesome guy.
Awesome. Yeah. Robert.
You know Robert as well, right?
Yes, sir. Robert's actually in the theme song for the show, and he's a great guy. And I actually messaged him a little while ago and told him he's going to be on the show today, so maybe he'll take a look at it.
He's been sending me well wishes after the accident as well. He was actually, I can't believe how nice he is. He's such an awesome guy.
Yeah, I told him about how about what happened to you, and he said he would message you and check on you and stuff. How was it? Did you get to meet, just out of curiosity, did you get to meet Maurice Bernard? I'm just curious.
I'm not actually that familiar with the people on
He plays Sonny Corinthos.
Sorry?
He plays Sonny Corinthos.
I don't even know the character.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. Okay.
Just on the show.
Okay.
I got to meet everybody basically that you saw in that specific scene. Everybody that was there, I got to meet and hang out with, and we all had lunch, and it was a really cool experience, man. It was beautiful. It was, on the ABC lot, we got taken care of really well. I got my own dressing room. It was pretty cool. That's awesome. So can you go ahead and sing another song for the fans out there? Absolutely. Let me sing one out real quick.
Okay. Okay.
I just trying to figure out I didn't sing in a while, so I'm trying to figure out the keys. So if I go in and out, I apologize to you guys. I know what it feels like to be alone. I know what you feel like when you're alone. So if you don't take this ring, I'll understand. I know that your love is in high demand. Reach out and take a walk with me. Come around the left now and won't you marry me? Did I feel a little shallow at the end of the street? Come around and get out and won't you marry me? I don't care about you no more. How much of my time about that more? If you don't take this ring, I'll understand. I know that your love is in high demand. We shall all ride and take a walk with me. Come on, live in town and won't you marry me? Need I feel a little shamble at the end of the street? Come on, live in town and won't you marry me?
That was wonderful. That was good.
Thank you, man. The first one was pretty bad. I wish I could redo the first one. I was not there yet.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Bella. You guys are awesome.
So I wanna talk to you a minute about Robert Palmer Watkins. I don't know if you know this or not, but if you ever get a chance one day to meet up with Robert again, See if he'll go surfing with you, because that's one of his pastimes that he loves to surf.
I'm afraid of the ocean.
Oh, are you?
I'm afraid of the ocean. I think I can go surfing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Was Robert a surfer?
Yes. He actually surfs when he comes down to the south to see his family and stuff. That's one of his hobbies. He likes to surf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Robert's good.
Um,
I'm a California boy, but the beach scares me for some reason.
yeah.
I like the shark.
Yeah, I don't want to fool no shark either. Sharks are dangerous.
I don't want to have a friend that's a shark.
Yeah. Do you play any other instruments other than the guitar?
I do. Like I said, I started off playing drums, and then I moved to guitar, and then I started playing bass and singing, and I also play the harmonica and a little bit of keyboards.
Man, that's pretty impressive right there.
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, some people. I don't know if you've ever seen them or not, but I seen them one time. They were on America's Got Talent. They actually played.
Who's that?
It was on the TV show America's Got Talent. I seen them on there one time, and they were actually playing all the instruments at one time, by themselves. And I was like, man, how do you do that? But it was just incredible that
Pretty cool, man.
they did that.
Pretty cool. Music is a beautiful thing, man. The only reason I really fell in love with music again is the same reason why I'm writing the TV show. It's to speak out to those kids who feel like they're by themselves. And when they listen to my music, I hope they don't feel like that anymore.
I know that now. I know that you actually have a new movie. It's a film you're going to be in, and it's actually up for a People's Choice Award called Highway to Havasa.
No, we won a People's Choice
Oh,
Award.
you won a People's Choice Award.
Yes.
Okay.
Me personally, the film did. The film won a People's Choice Award.
Highway to Havasa, is that right? Havasa or Havasa? Havasu.
Actually, it's a place in Arizona. It's like a spring breaker type place. The movie's kind of like a spring break type movie, It's very raunchy, it's very fun, it's hilarious. I love it.
Is it?
It's a really, really awesome movie.
Is it out on DVD where the fans can see it, or?
It will be very soon. It just finished its run in theaters. They're doing a tour right now. I think they just ended the tour. And then I think the film will be coming out within the next couple of months, hopefully.
Oh, that'll be great.
There's a Highway to Havasu site where you can go and pick up merchandise. There's T-shirts. There's bras, underwear, panties, stupid stuff like that. Whatever you want, basically. It's all funny stuff. Like it's just gonna be a raunchy film. So there's T-shirts that say like "Beware of tits," things like that. So they're funny T-shirts.
Okay, well that sounds interesting.
Yeah, man. It was, I had a lot of fun. There were some really cool people in that movie, and one of the kids is actually on a Nickelodeon. He's a Nickelodeon star now. He was just on Chase Champion, and he was just in Lost in the West. It was a 3-part trilogy for Nickelodeon, and he was one of the co-stars in that film. So the film was actually catapulting a lot of people's careers. It's pretty cool.
Okay. If there was any
You do need to see this movie. You'll love it. You will love this movie for sure. It's awesome.
well, I can't wait to check it out.
Sorry?
I said I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, it'll be nice, man. It's not for everybody for sure. It's definitely like if you if you don't like cursing. The movie's Highway to Havasu, man. Highway to Havasu. So you can find it on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Highway to Havasu. Havasu.
Havasu. I got it now. Havasu. Okay. It seemed like every time I tried to pronounce that, even when I was talking to you off air, I could never get that out.
Havasu is a pretty weird word if you don't like it. And I guess actually the weird thing about it is before I was ever even an actor, before I was a musician, before I did anything, my parents used to take me to Havasu for vacation. And it's just really funny that, I ended up in a movie called Highway to Havasu and it did so well.
Now that is a very odd coincidence, I mean,
Isn't it?
who would have ever thought?
Can I tell you one weird thing? One of the weirdest things imaginable?
Go ahead.
Is, I was, like I said, as you know, I was in a car accident last week. very opening scene, which we were about to shoot the next day, right before the accident happened, was actually a scene where I'm driving my vehicle and I'm like having this like contemplative moment because I come from a very bad family and I have a lot of problems in this film.
Uh-huh.
So I'm sitting there drinking a bottle of vodka or whatever, and I try and crash my car and kill myself. That's not what happened in this specific situation. It was a complete accident. But it was very, very odd timing. The day before we were about to film this specific scene where I crashed my car,
Now I'll tell you what, that right, wow, I don't even know what to say. That is weird.
Yeah, it was scary too. I really feel like there was, I had somebody looking out for me that day, man. I'm really, really stoked that I'm still here.
Yeah, I believe the good Lord was looking out for you and watching over you and keeping you safe.
Absolutely, man. I have somebody helping me out for sure.
That's right. If there was any TV shows that are out there right now in prime time that you would like to audition for, what would those TV shows be?
What was that HBO film that Mick Jagger produced?
I don't know right off the top of my head. I know that they got back.
Oh, Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, the show with Dennis Leary?
Yes, I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those types of shows. Those are shows I would like to do. I mean, for me personally, as an actor, I don't like playing specific parts that are me. I like to delve into certain characters. I like to, really get into what I want to be. I like to play weird, creepy characters or weird. I like to play the strange, obscene, crazy people, and that's not who I am in real life. So it's fun for me to get to those places when I'm pretending. It's fun for me to do that.
Okay. Well, if you were not a singer or an actor, is there anything else that you would have chose to be?
To be honest, I don't know. Leave that a second thought. My entire life has been about art and creating art and trying to change people's lives and trying to help the planet. So I don't really know. I think music is the easiest way to explain all of that. I think music is the most direct way to the heart. So that's personally why I like music. I don't really know. I don't think there is anything else I would want to do, to be honest.
Okay, that's a fair answer. Now, I've heard a lot of times, and I believe this to be a fact. They say that music is good medicine, just like laughter is good medicine.
Oh man, you have no idea. My life has been absolutely saved by music thousands of times. The first time I had the biggest breakup of my life, I wrote a song about it the next day, and it's probably one of the best songs I've ever written. And I felt better. I felt better afterwards. It didn't bother me anymore. I'm like, I still have my guitar. I still can write. I can still play. I can still be creative. And I still have people that come to me telling me that I've helped them get through hard times in their life by listening to my music. So that's pretty much all I'm here for.
That's true. That's true on that. There's a song, I don't know the name of it, but I wanted to ask if you could sing it on the show because I love it. It's a song I listened to on your YouTube channel. It says something about high heels, and you sung it. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh, man, I haven't played that in a long time. I can try it.
Okay.
I can try and remember it.
Okay.
You want me to try and give it a shot?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, okay. I haven't played this in probably 4 years.
Okay.
I apologize for listening on my end and your end for this one. You got a rap on me. Your face is always big. School girl got a wild side. Won't trust me, go for a ride. Got always saying, "What's the matter when down the drain?" He goes around with a high heels on. No best shoes in the town. That's actually all I can remember, dude.
Oh, wow.
I remember like, she's only looking for a good time. She's only looking for a good time. That's all I can't really play, so that was actually, you know what's funny? I don't know if Joe's still listening on here, the video, I don't know if he's still on here, but I actually recorded that with him for the first time when I was 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
So that's one of the first songs I ever wrote, actually, so.
Wow. Well, if you got another song, you know, it'd be great to hear it.
You know, that's funny. Sorry, she's talking about Luxuries of Hell that I used to play this 1963. It's another band that I played. Unfortunately, I can't play that one anymore, even though I was in, you know, copyright issues with them. But I still love the song and I still love those guys.
If you got another, yeah, if you got another song, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, man. Let me try this one's called A Heart Will Never Back Down.
Okay.
This night alone, everything is wrong. Not a broken smile, everyone still popped out with this style. I said, welcome to the mind of a crazy boy, welcome to the heart of a bad girl. We're lost in a ghost, but I'll never back down. We'll never back down. We'll never back down. We'll never back down. We'll never back down. Gotta get away. I find myself a place to call my home. I've been running for some time. I've been running for too long. Alright. Oh, alright. Welcome to the mind of a crazy boy. Welcome to the heart of a sad girl. We're lost in a ghost town. We'll never back down. We'll never back down. We'll no. We'll never back down. We'll never back down.
That was awesome, and you know that song right there, I think was probably the best I've heard.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome. I want to know, have you been signed to a record deal or anything?
Like I said, my band American Waste, which for everybody listening again, sorry, but at American Waste Band, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere. We have some stuff and it works with Nickelodeon, but I'm not actually allowed to speak about it, unfortunately.
Okay, well, cause I was gonna say, you know, you got one of those voices that come once in a lifetime that really nobody can replace you when you're singing. I mean, I think you've got what it takes to really be out there and with your band, making CDs and selling them and distributing them and everything else.
Actually, for everybody listening, I do have a solo EP out. If you go to
Is it Amazon or iTunes?
Sorry?
Is it Amazon or iTunes?
No, it's on it's a website, but actually for everyone listening to, I own two bands. There's one called American Lace, as I said, which is, we're not allowed to mention anything right now. We have no music released because we're talking to Nickelodeon about doing some stuff. And then I also have a band, it's my band, it's called Jack London and the Wild, or Jack and the Wild. So if you go to jackandthewild.com, you can see some live videos, you can see some, you can hear 3 songs that are recorded professionally, and see when we're playing next.
Okay, great. And also, you can also go to thewildband.com as well to find.
Yeah, you can go to thewildband.com, Jack London and the Wild, or jackandthewild.com. So any of those will get you there, and you can check out the music, check out whatever you want. See when we're playing, see when we're hanging out.
So do you have any upcoming appearances or anything like that you'd like to promote?
We're playing at the Whiskey, my band American Lace. This is going to be our debut show. There's going to be some people from Nickelodeon there. There's going to be some pretty cool people there. We're playing at the Whiskey A Go-Go on October 3rd. It's going to be our debut show, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, everybody go and check that out. That's listening here on the WSE Lounge and listening on Jack London's Facebook page. Please go and check that out and listen to him, and go and check out his EP that he has out on, as he said, thewildband.com, Jack London and thewildcom, and jackandthewild.com. Go and check that out. Jack, I want to thank you, so much for taking time out of your day to be a part of the show today. It was a true honor to interview you.
Sorry?
Yes, you there?
Thanking you. Thank you for having me. It was a blast.
Oh, you're very welcome, sir. And I wish you and all the best in all you do, and I'll continue to stay in contact with you and keep in touch with you.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you very much, brother, and thank you for checking up on me, and thanks for having me on the show.
Okay, you're very welcome. You take care.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that was singer, actor Jack London, and you can go to thewildband.com, Jack London and thewild.com, or jackandthewild.com to check out all of his music that he has. And that was a very good interview. I hope you all enjoyed it. And stay tuned following the show. I'll be making a big announcement concerning General Hospital star coming to the show next Monday. So stay tuned after the show's over. And as always, I'm going to let Mike Mooneyham close us out.